Hello, my beautiful friends. So it feels to me that at this time we're at a bit of a crossroads. Like things are in a bit of a flux. We're at a place where we're kind of stuck. Um, and it feels like everything has changed. It feels like so much has changed in these past few years. So many things have come to light. Um, the world is at a place where it's starting to shift and change drastically. But at the same time, it feels like we're at a place where nothing is changing, even though there's so many things that are shifting in the external world. It feels like that we're still stuck in the same paradigm. We're still working with the same exact systems and patterns that we've been working with for our whole lives. It feels like that we're still doing the same things over and over again, even though so much is changing and has changed and will continue to change. And really, I think when it comes down to it, it's because we're still functioning in the world the same exact way that we always have. Um, no matter how much changes externally, if we don't integrate that internally, then what patterns out around us is still going to be related to what we're patterning from. I think at this time, I know at this time that we have access to be able to connect with some very high frequency energy. The earth is being bombarded by high frequency energies at this time. And we have access to so much energy all around us, just by the nature of our existence in this time space reality. There's just infinite energy, um, but I also feel like most of the time we mostly disconnect from that energy. We don't connect into anything greater than ourselves. And I think that's because that's what we've been trained to do growing up in the society that we live in. um, I feel like we were trained um, to turn that part of ourselves off, to put our power in other people's hands, to um, to doubt our own intuition, and to doubt our own abilities to manifest anything that we want in this world. And I think how we start integrating all of these changes that are happening and expediting this process of change is by remembering how to work with these energies, these powerful energies that are available to us right here, right now, that we can take our power back, um, and start intentionally shifting ourselves, start repatterning how we are interacting with the world, start releasing these programs that we're holding within us that have been entrained into us just from growing up in this society, start releasing all of those belief systems. And even if we are well aware of all of these things, getting rid of the cognitive dissonance of having the two programs running at the same time, because I believe that's where I've been at for the past 9 or 10 years. I know I've been in that place for the past 9 years at least, of realizing how much power I hold within and utilizing that from time to time, but then allowing the old patterns to come in at the same time. And that whole thing of take one step forward, two steps back, of working with these energies, of getting myself in alignment, and then getting caught up in the struggles to make ends meet and how I'm going to pay my bills, and just that back and forth of always struggling and never allowing myself to stand on solid ground. I think it's time to intentionally work with these higher frequency energies every single day. I try and do this for myself, and I've been seeing drastic changes in my life. My life has been changing so much. The past 10 years, my life has changed drastically, what I'm doing now, the way I'm working with sound, holding online events, and even pre-2020, for years I was doing in-person sound healing events. That was not even on my radar 10 years ago. Just allowing myself to seek and to work with energy. That's where that ultimately ended up guiding me, was to where I'm at now, And I think we all need to look within ourselves at the patterns that we're holding. Are we undermining ourselves when we're trying to manifest by doing, you know, utilizing the manifestation techniques, but then moving into a state of fear about money and all that? It's so ingrained into us. It's what we've been taught, that there's not enough in the world, that basically it boils down to, we've been taught that consciousness arises out of physicality, and physicality, the physical world, is the conduit for us to function through, and it is limited. There's only a limited amount of things. But in reality, I think a lot of our belief systems, at least what we outwardly express with words, but not what we're inwardly expressing with how we're functioning, we've started to understand that the nature of this reality is that physical reality, physical matter, the physical world arises out of consciousness. And that changes everything, because consciousness is infinite. And when we are able to tune ourselves in with specific things, and we can manifest very amazing things in our life. But when we still have all these subconscious programmings that are running us from running from a place of the opposite side, that our consciousness is arising out of the physical, that there's a limited amount of things, and that we need to struggle against something to survive. And that is where we're stuck. There's so many things that are pointing towards, even on the scientific level, with like the double slit experiment and quantum mechanics and all that, seeing how the nature of our reality is not what was originally thought in traditional models. And even in pop culture, with things like manifestation, the law of attraction, and all that stuff, it's all pointing us in that direction of the physical arising out of consciousness. But all these programs are holding us back. And because of that, we're still in a world where there are endless wars that are just money machines, and we're functioning with all of this corporatism, with endless greed, all of these corporations with their fingers in the political systems of the world, in the healthcare systems, that are not serving us. We are allowing those things to continue by continuing to function from the disempowering belief systems that are not true. So how do we set all that down? I think it comes down to being willing to look within and find those things that are causing this cognitive dissonance, that are pulling us back into these old patterns, and allowing ourselves to start shifting them. In a really powerful way to start shifting it is to start intentionally aligning with these higher frequency energies that are available right now, whatever you want to call them. It feels all new agey to call it like 5D or aligning with the new earth. I still, I don't talk about that stuff a lot, because it feels all new agey, but I mean, that's what it is. That's what this shift is. Energies are shifting. The ascension that we're undergoing, this is just a shifting in consciousness, by aligning with higher frequencies that expand our consciousness. And when it expands, all these patterns that no longer fit, all the cognitive dissonance starts arising to the surface, and it looks like bad shit's going down. And you've probably noticed that happening these past few years. So many things coming to light, And it's not because anything different is happening. It's not because that stuff is new, I should say. Um, it's that it was always there, but now it's coming to the surface. So if we are able to every day go within, work with these higher frequency energies, allow ourselves to align to these higher states of being, doing this individually and then coming together to do it collectively, I think we can and will shift this world. It's coming. Whether it takes 5 years or 500 years, I think is ultimately up to us. How are we going to facilitate this shift? Nobody's coming to do it for us. Alien ships aren't coming down to help us. The politicians are not going to do anything remotely close to this because they're already bought and sold. They're not holding our best interests. The corporations are not going to do this for us. It's us. We need to take these steps. We need to make these shifts. And I think we slowly are starting to do this. But right now, like I said, it feels like we're in a state of flux. We're at a crossroads because we have the new beliefs in the old beliefs, the new energies in the old patterns, all clashing together. And the more we are able to set these old patterns down, the easier it will be for us to start making faster forward momentum, building up higher frequency energies within ourselves, and then coming together and amplifying this exponentially. Because when we come together, when you have a few people come together holding this energy, you don't just have the energy of those few people. When you're coming together, you're amplifying that energy, and it's exponentially more powerful. That's why I do mostly group work, because I see and understand how this works. People coming together, facing not necessarily the same direction, because that seems like it's fairly impossible at this point in time, but at least a similar direction, holding a similar intention, working with a similar energy and a similar frequency. That's when major changes start happening. So, yeah, a little bit of a tangent, but I think that we can change this world, and I don't want it to take 500 years. I don't even want it to take 5 years. But the reason that I do the work that I do, and I have stepped into doing this, the reason why I do work with groups utilizing sound to work through these patterns, to release, to open ourselves up to greater energy. I'm always working with intention. There's always an intention that goes along with my events. That's why I'm doing this, to help people come together, to first of all do the work for themselves, and second, to come together when doing it so that it gets that massive amount of amplification. We have all the tools we need to do this. We just need to repattern the way that we're working with these energies in whatever way works for you. For me, it is sound. For you, it might be something completely different. But if sound is something that works as powerfully for you as it does for me, sound is a really powerful way of me setting down these old patterns. I highly recommend utilizing that. And if you want to work with me, I have launched the Sacred Sound Inner Circle, which is a way for you to access every single one of my live streaming events, which right now there are 2 per month. And with the Sacred Sound Inner Circle, there you get unlimited replays for as long as you are a member. Going back through my events to the beginning of 2022, which I think there's 34 events in the replay section right now. But you also get access to the live stream, being able to attend when it's actually live. And there are in the Sacred Sound Inner Circle, there are monthly calls where I'm doing a bit of teaching how to utilize sound on yourself, and any type of Q&A and stuff like that. And I also have a growing library of royalty-free music that you are able to use for anything you want. Your yoga classes, your social media videos, your online courses, whatever you want, or just for your, just to enjoy whatever. You can download those and use them however you want. in that gift library in the Sacred Sound Inner Circle. And I think I'm going to start doing regular toning calls as well, group toning. I used to do a lot of group toning in person. Um, Even before I was actually doing sound healing, singing with the bowls, the way you've probably been seeing me doing quite a while now. Even before I owned singing bowls and was working with sound in that way, I was working with toning, working with groups with toning, and then with every single one of my in-person events, I always had people do a little bit of toning in the beginning, so we were all creating sound and vibration in our own bodies because I feel like that opens you up and makes you um, so much more receptive. Um, and the last call that we did in the Sacred Sound Inner Circle, I actually shared a type of toning, my go-to, and it was actually really powerful. I was so supercharged. It was the first time I've ever done the toning online, which, you know, in retrospect, I don't know why I've been doing the online events for 4 years now or whatever it is. I don't know why I haven't done a toning group online. It just never crossed my mind. I was just still only doing it when I did in-person events, and it was really powerful, and I'm going to start doing that in the Sacred Sound Inner Circle as well. But anyways, at this time, right now, through actually today's the last day for the solstice special I have going on, where you're able to actually get access to your first month of the Sacred Sound Inner Circle for half price, which is $22. And that will give you access to 2 live streaming events, as well as all the events that are in there, the replay library, community call, and the gift library. And if you just sign up for that month, you know, just take that deal for $22 and then cancel after that, you'll get to experience 2 live streaming events for $22. Whereas if you bought those tickets for those events individually, it would be $60. You know, I hope you stick around, but I just want to get this out there. I want people to utilize these things that I'm offering because it's what I'm doing. You know, in the perfect world, you know, I could offer these things for free, but I'm lucky enough that this is what I do for a living. I'm in service to the shifting. It's what I do, and I'm so grateful for that. And if what I'm doing aligns with you, please join me for this. Please um, either join the Sacred Sound Inner Circle and you know, help me to start building a community there. And it's still very much in its infancy, but it is growing. Or just, you know, attend my live events when you are able to, and utilize what I'm doing. I had all these people telling me that, you know, all these fakers on Instagram and TikTok that were messaging people that was not me, that were completely different accounts stealing my videos, and people telling me that they were giving them money. I was like, well, damn, those people are probably making more money than me by stealing my videos and telling them, you know, beloved soul, I feel such a connection for you. I want to give you a reading. All that bullshit. Um, People were telling me they were giving them money, and I was like, that's I'm sorry that that happened, but don't do that. if you if you if you want if you want to access my services and support me, this is the way to do it. And this is what lights me up. This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm here for. I'm in service to this time of shifting, and I'm working with it for myself as much as for you, because we need to set these programs down. It doesn't have to be with me and my sound. It can be whatever works for you, but we have to do this. Like I said, it's up to us. We are the ones that need to make these changes. We have to step up and intentionally find ways to release these patterns that we've been sucked into, that are keeping us trapped, keeping us spinning our wheels and not moving forward during this time when there is potential for so much forward movement. We can do this. That's why I am here, and there's a good chance that you're here for the same reason. It's time to shift things. Let's do it. I hope you have a beautiful day.